grey, and then it starts recording before it goes red.
Yeah,
So
right.
every single one's got me going at the start. So I might as well keep it going. But yeah, so we're recording now, eh? So as we were just talking about, just if you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit, say where you're from, and yeah, the floor is yours, guys.
Yeah, so I'm Nev Witters. My mum is a Witters from Armidale, so that's Anaiwan country, but with strong connections back down to strong historical connections back down to Wonnarua country, Singleton there, and yeah, my dad's Biripi and Dungutty, the Ma family up there on Purfleet Mish. So yeah, that's you know where I'm from. I was born in Armidale, but Maitland's home, eh? Like this region, I love it here. Yeah.
My name's Billie, Billie Page. I'm from Beresfield.
Where are your parents from?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah, real shy, yeah.
Hey, that's all right. We'll work our way into it, eh? I guess what obviously you guys run the Kultja brand. Other than that, what do you guys do for work?
So I work full time at a dental clinic in East Maitland as a dental assistant and receptionist. And I also work full time as well as co-founder at the Kultja.
Yes, love
Two
that.
full-time jobs, eh? That's full on, eh?
Very
busy. Hey, busy.
Yeah. So I have a job at Tanema Public School. I work as an SLSO and actually do a lot of the Aboriginal education stuff there as well. I run the Kultja with Bill. We started it 2.5 years ago now, and I've actually just started up some like a little side hustle with vintage caps, and it's going real good.
Yeah, where can we find you on that one, bro?
For the vintage caps.
Yeah.
So go on. I'm only on Instagram. NXV CAPS. So NXV caps on Instagram, and I'll give a shout out to one of the brother boys there, Dusty Cap Co on Instagram. He's Caleb McGrady. That's one of the brother boys that we're doing it together.
Is that Caleb, is it?
Yeah, that's Caleb, man.
That's silly. I didn't realise that.
We found that there's a bit it's a bit quiet in Australia when it comes to vintage caps, and there's some unreal hats out there that have stood the test of time of like 30, 40 years. So we thought it would be cool to shed a bit of light on that in Australia and get it rotating around Australia.
100%, man. It's really big in America, eh?
Oh, it's huge, man. It's huge. It's starting to get big in New Zealand as well. Popping in Ireland and a bit in the UK as well.
Yeah. Vintage stuff in general was like getting massive, eh? Like it's coming full circle, really. It's just
That's it. It's timeless stuff, man. If it can stand the test of time, the value is gonna go up.
That's it.
And people are gonna always look for it.
That's it, man. 100%. All right. So you told us who you are and where you're from. I guess the next question is what is the culture like? What's the meaning behind it? Like, what sort of influenced you guys to sort of start that brand, and like, what were you guys doing before you started that brand? Because I think that's important as well. That journey leading up to it.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna get real deep here. This journey, and I believe this for other people too, but mainly for myself, that the journey that I have started way before me, like years and years and years before me, through my ancestors, and through through the changing and the evolution of this country, our people, through what they've done over the years. And with that being said, because I'm a proud Aboriginal boy, I thought it was only right to just to acknowledge that this word, that's how the people before me would say this word, and that's culture, and it's not just the culture of our culture, Aboriginal culture, but it doesn't we're not keeping it in one box. It's the culture of looking after yourself, overcoming your obstacles, chasing your dreams. We've just started we just kind of reshaped the look of it, and what we're about, and we're about to release it. So this is a bit of an exclusive. So we're about the game changers, cycle breakers, and what was the last one? Dream takers. So I didn't forget that. I just wanted to be able to say it, but she's a bit quiet. So yeah, that's what it's about, man. I feel like we part of us, who we are, is already made up before we enter this earth, and that that's through our old people that come before us. You ever heard that saying when like someone says, "Oh, you look like your grandfather or your great grandfather," and you may have not even met him, or something you do, they say, "Oh, you're like this person." You're like, "Why do I have that quality that that this person 2-3 generations before me had?" But that's I feel like that's that's what we do, man. We're carrying on legacies, and that's just me carrying on a small part of that legacy.
That's it, bro. That's it. 100%. It's I'm a strong believer in our journey already being set. You know what I mean? And like you got these cues that sort of get you into the direction that you need to go. And it's always, I feel like you're always where you need to be, whether it's a bad place or a good place. You're always in that path of where you need to be. And like as there's so many different philosophies around that as well, like the yin and the yang, and like you can't have the good times without the bad times. And I guess that leads into the next question. Like, what sort of negativities or adversity did you guys face when you were first starting this brand? Or because I know it's an out of the box concept of what a young Indigenous and non-Indigenous person would do is to go and start their own brand, and it's only a new way of thinking for in society as well. Like it was always like, oh, if you had your own brand, like you were heaps rich and you can only do it like you had heaps of money or something behind you. But now it seems that people are starting brands and making a massive change and a massive influence in their communities. Like, I guess going back to the question, what was some adversity and negativity that you guys faced when you first sort of started?
Yeah.
What do you want to answer some of these?
I feel like there was a lot of negativity, a lot of negativity. In ways where kind of people were like, "Oh, you're gonna quit your job and just do this," and it just makes you feel like you can't break the cycle of no 9-to-5 job. You got to stay at a 9-to-5 job to earn your money, to gain an income, where basically, going back to the question before as well, Neville's done all three, where he's changed the way that things work, the game, everything like that. I just feel like there's been a lot of negativity that way, as in coming towards him, especially with like, I can't say.
I think what Bill's trying to say is that it's definitely been
it's been a journey.
We'll call it an abundance of negativity, and Bill Bill wears her heart on her sleeve, and that's what I love so much about her, that you can see the passion in whatever she does. And when we'd hear about this, or we'd be confronted with some of this toxicity, it would really it really affect her, and it wouldn't so much affect me, man. I just kind of I didn't think it would happen as quick as it did, But yeah, a lot of it was, it's from family, from friends, and obviously the stuff that you don't hear, but you can definitely you can feel that, man. You can feel that that tense and that energy. But yeah, there's been a lot of it, and I think that the best way we've done it is just focus on it on ourselves, holding ourselves accountable, and as long as we're doing that, this we don't really have to answer those those questions and retaliate to that stuff, because we're comfortable in who we are and what we're doing. And now it's like when I hear that, it sounds real weird, but I love it, eh?
Oh yeah, it fires you up, bro. Fires you up.
Sometimes negativity can be a little bit of a positive thing, because you still have people talking about your brand and what you do and everything like that. Like, as much as it would fire me up, I had to remember at the end of the day, like, we're still getting our name out there, and it's
100%.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, look at some of the biggest, like, when we think of brands, we don't have to, like, obviously you think Nike, you think Jordan, you think all those sorts of brands, but like yourself can be a brand as well. Like, you can be the brand of Nev, or you can be the brand of Billie. Look at the brand of Muhammad Ali, or look at the brand of Conor McGregor. Like, they're always the bad guys. Everyone hates them. Everyone wants them to lose. But at the end of the day, that name is still one of the biggest names in our society, and it's because they built that brand around what they're doing. So they don't care. Like, I think the strongest thing you can do is to be aware that you're on that journey and not care, and block out all that noise around you. Because that's the only way you get to where you need to be. Because especially coming from, I guess Maitland's a small sort of semi-rural community, and everyone knows everyone. Even Newcastle, man. Like you go out like anywhere in Newcastle. Oh, I know that fella. I know his sister. I know that auntie. Like, everyone knows everyone. As big as it sort of is, everyone knows everyone. So, like, having that understanding that you are in a small sort of community, and you're taking that step to go, well, I'm bold enough to change the game. But as you said, like, it's part of your brand now. The game changes, the shot calls,
game changers, cycle breakers, dream takers.
100%, and that sums it up perfect. I was nearly there. Yeah, no, and that's it, and that sums it up perfectly. Like, you guys appeal to those people. You know what I mean? Like, someone who wants to think outside the box. Like, fair enough, if someone wants to have their 9-to-5 job and do that, then that's completely okay. That's their journey, and that's what they want to do. But to turn around and you'd be one case in the case of about, like, everyone who's ever started a brand has had, or anything that's out of the box has had that negative feedback, and it's whether you can get through it and work through it and come out on top, which you guys are doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been sort of following your guys' journey from the start, and every single time you guys release something, or like, I'll be like, oh, that's mad. Like, because probably a bit of context as well for people that are listening. Me and Nev went to school together. You're a couple of years older than me, and
I taught Nick how to shake a leg.
Yeah, not wrong. You, Kale, and Mikey boy there, bro. They're original dance crew there, right? That's it. That's a trip down memory lane there, right? I'll roll for the high. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we went to school together, and like, even though Nev's only a couple of years older than me, I was always sort of looking up to what that group of boys were doing, because they were a role model. You know what I mean? And the idea of not having to be an old fella to be able to make change with the youth as well. So I think you, on a couple of different levels, both of you guys, like, Billie, you're the same. I'm sure you make such a big difference to a lot of young female influencers that want to get out there and push that brand and create something out of the box. Like, you guys are just doing awesome things, and I think, like, when it comes to negativity, you guys are going to get that, but you look like you're just rolling with the punches and it's fueling you, and you're just putting more and more content out there. So it's just bigger.
No, I appreciate
the big,
that. It's
yeah, it, bro.
It's it's inevitable, man. It doesn't matter what you do. Whenever you take that risk, because it's such a how can I put it? Where we live in a way where we want that comfortability. We search for it, and once we're in it, we just immerse ourselves in it. But like anything, it doesn't matter how great something is. Too much of it is, it's not good for you. You got, like you said before, with balance, man. You got to have that balance. So, with we've got to step out of your comfort zone and take that risk. And because so many people struggle with that, like I've struggled with it. Like everything we do in the culture and everything we release and say, it's things that we've done. It's things that we've experienced. So it's not something that we haven't experienced. So, by us talking about, taking these risks and doing it, and by me saying this, it's something that I've experienced, but it's what we struggle with. It's taking that risk and stepping away from that comfort zone, because it's the unknown. When we're stepping into the unknown, it's so scary. And when we see other people do it, we do a couple of things. We either like we put them on a pedestal, or we admire them and we get courage from that, or we despise them, out of jealousy and spite, and just for the simple fact of we wish we could do that. But it's everything's easier said than done, and actions speak louder than words. But yeah, it's a number of one of those things, and it keeps happening.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. I guess like we'll move on to that next sort of question that I sent through to you, is about like you guys have a couple of different people that you guys have approached, and like the big sort of influences in the community. Like to use an example, a young fella named Kobe D, like to see that fella wearing your brand, and like with him being such a big influence in his community and just the Aboriginal community in general, being a young role model. How does it feel to see people like that wear your brand and wear the culture on in their videos, or whether it's just in general? Like, how does that feel, and what's the journey to sort of get like? And if there's anyone, I know I don't want to mispronounce his name, the young fella who plays for the Knights.
Pasami Solo.
Pasami, bro. He's a big ambassador of you guys as well. And like it's mad, bro. Like just seeing these fellas out there sort of repping what you guys, like the homegrown brand that started so small, and then it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, how does it feel to see those boys and the influencers wear your brand?
You want to say how it feels, and like what Well, I think we're always so conscious in how we represent the brand, and we like to see other people check out the way they're representing it. And with Kobe, man, we'll start off with Kobe, because the Basami one's just as good as this, but our paths crossed before that, and it wasn't directly. So my little brother, shout out Craigie boy if you're watching, or if you end up listening to this, love you, bro. I hope you're doing well. So my little brother actually grew up with Kobe down in Maroubra. They were neighbours, and I'm pretty sure they might be mob, but yeah, they grew up in Maroubra for a couple of years. And it wasn't until because I've always been a big fan of Kobe, and Kobe started following me back, and we started talking, and then he hit me with a message once he seen me posing up in a photo with little brother Craig, and he's like, he goes, how do you know Craig? He goes, he's at your is that your big brother? Because Craig's like 6'4", man. He's a massive dude.
Yeah, big
I'm
boy.
like,
big
I
boy.
just started cracking up. I was like, how does he even know like Craig? And man, that's my little brother. That's my little big brother. So yeah, once we started connecting on that, it kind of helped that relationship. But everything Kobe stands for and what he's about, man, like he speaks, high volume of those three things: the game changer, the cycle breaker, and the dream taker. But when he jumped on that video clip for, I think it was Role Models, man, we didn't even know. Hey, we had no idea.
Yeah.
We didn't know he was going to wear it in that video clip. So we sent him the shirts down Hayville, and Kobe just I seen him.
Surprised.
Yeah, he surprised us.
It was a very big shock.
It was a massive
shock.
Yeah,
100%.
It's one thing for for Kobe to wear it, and you just rock it around town, but
it's another to wear it in
his video clip,
Yeah.
And the song, I love the song, man. I think Kobe's number one in Oz, and everything he touches is gold.
100%, bro.
I rate him highly. Just to see him wearing that shirt, man, and what that actual collection was about too. It's freaky, man, because it was actually there was a lot of parallels between what that collection was about and what Kobe was rapping about in his song Role Models. So yeah, it was special, man, and we've still got that relationship with Kobe. So shout out Kobe D.
Hopefully he listens to it, bro. Hopefully
honestly, send it to me.
Thanks, bro.
But with Pasami, like, do you want to talk about how that, because you actually connected with that crew way before I did. So Pasami's his partner Tiaraha, Kate, Bill and T actually went to school together.
Yeah.
And they were
Beffels.
Beffel, yeah, we call them Beffels. That's what they used to call best friends back in the day, isn't it?
Beffels.
Yeah. So and then I started going to the same high school as him, and then I became really good friends with T as well. And that's when later on down the track, and we've always been stayed close. Bill and I with Kate, with T, and she ended up started dating Pasami, and man, I don't know if you've ever met him, but
I met him once. Yeah,
he's the most down to earth, humble person, man. Like,
very genuine.
His energy, like, he's very calming, man.
Yeah.
And he's just he's a very, very strong person. We look up to him. We love him.
Yeah.
And he stands for everything again. For what we stand for as a brand, and his actions and his journey speaks high volume of our brand. So it feels really, really good that we have people like Pasami and Kobe that are that have these larger following platforms, and have their names out there that love our stuff too. Like Kobe invited us down to his block party last year. Was it last year? Was it this year? I don't know. This year feels like 2 years in one, man.
Yeah.
It all rolls into one, bro. It's the biggest write-off. Last 2 years, it's the biggest write-off.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was this year. Anyways, Kobe had his block party. Invited us down, and Kobe had his block party in his neighborhood, man. He didn't go and take it to like some big park. He put it in the park where he grew up, man. Like, and we got to go down and experience it, and we had a blast. It was so good.
Yeah.
So
good. So the people that we have like them too. It's special, man, and it means a lot to us. And it's not that it's not your typical, and I'm not trying to shoot down anybody here, but you see brands sending stuff to influencers, and they have no real genuine connection with that brand. It's the connection of the money and the followers and all of that. And
what you can do for me,
100%, man. And that's cool, because like that's a small part of business, but what me and Bill, like we're very similar people when it comes to the relationships that we have with people. Like we always nurture our relationships. So when we sat down and spoke about how we're gonna do this or do that, was it was a pretty easy decision to make, hey Bill. But we're very comfortable with having these people, because of the relationships that we have. So shout out to Sami and T too. Love you.
Yeah. Hey, good on him, eh? Nice, bro. I guess there was I probably should have sent you this question, but I'm gonna drop a bit of a question. That is, it's nothing big. Just I remember seeing you guys were at like you had your first sort of I guess I think it was for one of your releases, and you're at like you had your own stall at a market. What was like? Because I remember always like because as a young fella, like my mum was always at the markets. Like we're always going to the markets. I'm always when I was young, I was like, these are all like old people markets. Like you can get like it doesn't interest me going to get salami from some greasy bloke at the markets. Like, but seeing young people at those sorts of things, but I'd always be drawn towards that. So what was that experience and how did that go? And also if you could to continue on to talk about that, your other release that was at Coquan as well, bro. That was so good. I remember I didn't even realise that was on that day. I knew it was coming up, and I was walking in the levee there at Maitland. I'm like, bro, look, some music. It's popping over at Coquan. Shout out to Coquan as well, brother.
Yeah, shout out, brothers, man.
Hey, but yeah, I was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, oh, there's Nev, and there's G, there's all the boys over there. So I was like, I caught the shirt. I was gonna wear it today, but I couldn't. It's in the wash, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna wear mine, but got so many of them, man. I just and plus, I love it. But yeah, so that store, our first one, was actually the one you seen was at Kobe D's block party, man.
There you go.
And we had so much fun, eh? Like our we obviously had to talk about a game plan, how we're gonna how we're gonna sell stuff, but also enjoy our time down there. And we come to like a
to kind of like an agreement that it wasn't.
Wouldn't say an agreement, like just we were young about it. Yeah,
whatever it is, but but like it was kind of, I don't know. It wasn't about going down there to sell things. It was about going down there, being present in the moment, speaking about what we're about, just being there,
connecting with people. Yeah. Like, see, I personally, I'm not that big of a fan of Sydney. It's just really chaotic.
Yeah.
I'm country boy, but that part of Sydney, like Maroubra and that, it's a lot more relaxed. And when we got down there, man, the people were they were so good, eh? They were mad, man. I was meeting people from here, there, and everywhere, and got to meet some people that I've been talking to on the socials. So yeah, we had a blast, eh? Like we just met so many good people, and the music was A1. It was good, man. It was just a mad experience. So that was a bit different because the the markets you say you went to, we really want to jump in one of them, but we're also conscious of the audience that gathers there, and we really want to hit the impact that the younger generation, but also not leave out that older generation, that's those the older generation and people like our age, where we are the people that help lay that foundation, that platform for them younger ones. So but yeah, we're still trying to figure out the best place for us in that kind of setting, whether we create that ourselves or we jump on the back of someone else's. And that's what led us to do that release launch at Cookan there at Dan's restaurant. And one, because the food is unmatched. Best hash browns in the world. But yeah, just the environment and the what Dan's about. It comes back to the relationships that me and Bill we're big on relationships and the connections that we have with people, and it's always genuine. So because we already had that relationship with Dan, we hit him up and he loved the idea of it. And I thought I'd get G along, and we early released our t-shirts, and it was so much fun, man. Like just seeing all these different people, like everybody has their social groups and their friend groups, but it was just so many different people, from ages wherever, different towns, and they all came there to Dan's restaurant Kultja, but also to support us, and to check D out. Kobe D was meant to be there too, but Kobe got caught up in Sydney, which was a bit unfortunate, but it was still a good day, man. Like I remember seeing you there, and I was surprised to just see the people that came there, but we had a blast day, and Bill was killing it, on the sales and stuff. We had fun, man. We had heaps of fun. It was yeah.
No, that was awesome, bro. It was like talking on that vibe, like when you walk in there, bro, it's a different vibe, you know what I mean? Like you guys radiate a real calm sort of presence, I feel. Like and that works well with your brand. And I only think in time, once COVID sort of goes away and everything goes back to normal, and you can start to have those things and have like your Kobe D's come in and all that sort of stuff, I feel like that's gonna be like a really, really cool space for everyone from every walk of life. To, like you're saying, you want to hit those, like the young people and the old people. But I think that like everyone's gonna vibe on it, bro. Like you're not gonna. I don't think you're ever gonna struggle to find a group of people. Like it's gonna be its own unique group of people with all different age groups, all different ethnicities, culture, that kind of thing. I think it works really, really well, and that's. And that's one thing that I can say about the brand as well. It just sort of it hits all the different sort of like it comes from the word culture, but it impacts more than just our Aboriginal community. Like it's bigger, and So I reckon
we're all we all feel we all go through change and emotions, and the ups and downs of life, and that's what we that's the other one of the other. There's so many reasons. There was so many whys and reasons to start this, and seeing not only myself, like I struggled a lot before we actually got to the starting point of this, and so did Bill, and we seen friends and family, and sometimes even people we didn't know go through so much. So we wanted to build something that not something, we wanted to build a clothing brand that supplied not only a message and a purpose and a movement, but a uniform for these people. If you calling it a uniform, it sounds a bit boring, but that's what it is.
I know.
When people wear this, like if you're walking past someone wearing the culture shirt while you're wearing it, you're going to notice them, when you're going to be like, oh, and you already have this connection. So it's being, it's connecting, like-minded people, and just, people that really love what we're about, but also are on their own journey themselves, just connecting with each other. And that's the best thing we do, man. We just support each other and lift each other up rather than, place each other down.
That's it, bro. 100%. So I guess going back to like we'll sort of start to wrap it up, but I've got one more question and then we'll do a quote. I'm sure you guys are full of deadly quotes. It's just rattling around in your head. But yeah, I guess as young influencers, is there anyone that you sort of looked at and going like you always say like, oh, I want to sort of shape my brand like that, but obviously you don't do it exactly the same. Like, is there anyone that you sort of like recommend for a young fella or a young girl to sort of go suss that journey out, other than yourself, of course? Like if I was if someone's approached by me, I'd definitely recommend you guys sort of follow your journey and watch this podcast. Watch the podcast.
Yes.
But like other than yourselves, is there anyone that you guys sort of lent on to sort of watch and that would influence you guys and what you guys do?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Do you have any? No? Family, friends, people you look up to, like maybe some celebrities or whatever. Do you want me to go? I'll go first. Yeah, man, I've got like a lot. But I'm for if we're talking about a personal thing and what you can do for yourself, because that's where it starts with. If you're wanting to do anything in, whether it's business, sport, wherever, you've got to go inside yourself first and build yourself up before you start to jump in and exercise those things that you're meant to be doing in that environment. So for me, I I had some of my family members, well, not many. My auntie, she was a massive presence, and my older brother. But there's a couple of other people. One of my old English teachers. I don't know if you were at Rutherford High at the time, if you got to meet him. Do you remember Mr. Hartwig?
No, bro. He left as I sort of started year 7. I remember hearing about him.
Yeah. So Dave Hartwig. He's been massive for me ever since I was a young man. He always pulled me into line when I was being a little rat bag back at school. But even now, man, I still have a strong connection with him. And as for people that I don't know, but I feel like I know them just because of what they've what they've done on their journey. And this is still on that personal stuff, is Sam Ovens. So a lot of you will have no idea who Sam Ovens is, but if you're really wanting to get into business and build your foundation, because that's where you need to start your foundation. It's Sam Ovens. Hey, Bill, like Billy Page knows the process that I went through.
Very long.
Sam Ovens. He owns Consulting Accelerator. He's an entrepreneur that started a business that helps business consultants and just business owners in general help themselves to help other people, to put that simply. And so Sam's from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and he's man, I haven't witnessed a more sharper person, just with how he does his business. And I feel like the more people that can interact with his tools and the stuff that he offers, the more benefit it's going to have on people. Now, as for like the aesthetics and what inspired us to go clothing, I think me and Billie,
we're a lot of music.
Yeah, music, but we're very picky in the way we dress too. We're very, very picky. And I in the early stages, I was a massive A$AP Rocky fan. This is before he really blew up. So this is his Live Love A$AP mixtape. It's not even an album. So it was 2013, and his style and fashion and just the way he carried himself and how he wore things without the fear of judgment. That's what we worry about so much when we're teens, and even in as adults, that if we wear something, we're going to get judged for it. So seeing the way he was dressing and how he was being innovative, but also in a way where it wasn't mainstream, man. Like, I don't know, I don't really go too much on him now and the fashion now. But I've also been one to play around with it myself. Like I've always wanted to experiment with it. Bill's caught me that many times. Like she's bought me a nice pair of pants or a shirt, and I've cut it up and made my own little design out of it. So yeah, ASAP Rocky was a big influence with the clothing, and just rap music in general. I grew up listening to that, and Bill started to get into it because of me as well. But yeah, just the way they dress, man. It's it always spoke to me, and I always had older cousins or uncles growing up that dressed a similar way. So that that sense of fashion, but also looking at it from the early days to now, how much it's changed, but how much I might not like the change now. Like I'm not too much on today, but yeah. Oh, and there's another person I really need to mention when it comes to the clothing and the aesthetics of things is Jacob Watson. He inspired me when I was really young with the vintage caps, and really put me on some really great clothing and styles. Ike gave me a pair of Jordan 6 infrareds, man. I think they were like an early 2000s release, that if I kept them today, they'd be thousands of dollars or whatever.
Right, I think that York family is just like a gold mine for like deadly shoes, eh? Because Jaden gave me a pair of Jordan 1s, I remember. And they were freaky looking ones, but they would be worth a kilo. I remember I used to play touch footy at school with them. You know what I mean? I used to scuff them up at school. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. So he gave them to me because they were too small on him, and then I had no idea that I guess the popularity and the expense that these shoes had, and Jacob's like, oh, bruh, let me buy them off you, man. Like, and I'm like, no, these are my shoes. Like, I loved them, but yeah, he was a massive influence, man. I just seen him wear stuff, and people would criticize him about what he would wear, and he didn't care, man. He'd still wear it. He wore what he wanted, and it was just the simple fact of doing something and doing it because you love it and you enjoy it, without worrying about the noise and blocking out all that. I think that's what I've mainly loved about it. Along with the aesthetics and the look of it, and the colors and stuff. It was real cool. And now Bill's gotten into it, and her shoe game's stronger than mine, and I feel like she dresses better than me. But and there's so much influence in this world, and so much people that we can look up to. But business, Sam Ovens, and as for fashion, like it's up here. It's everything you experience. You've got to be able to look inside what you've experienced and what you've seen, and put it in your own way, and be original about it. Because once you do the things that you can express from yourself, and you be yourself, nobody can copy that. No, you can't. If it's duplicated, it's a copy. You were the first to do it. You're the original. So yeah, be original and do what you think feels good for you, and what you like, not what other people like.
100%, man. No, just on what you're saying before about Jacob, he's a big influence for a lot of young fellas, I think, in that same sort of regard. Like he's always doing his thing, bro. He's doing good things too, and he's always moving forward and not caring about the noise around it. I reckon like he's really good, and he's going to be on the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, mate.
So but yeah, did you have anything to add to that, Bill?
Yeah. Where's your influences?
Do you have any podcasts that you listen to, or any sort of stuff? Because I guess you draw influence from anywhere. You know what I mean? Like Nev just drew like 4 or 5 different influences from like different things. You know what I mean? So like your podcast, I know sports star that you might look up to. Influence is just influence at the end of the day, isn't it? Like whether it's a fashion influence or a motivation influence. Yeah, I guess. Do you have any, Phil?
This is probably a little bit of a cheesy one.
You're going to say Nev.
Yeah. I was going to say, I probably wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Yeah.
So the way he has changed his whole life around kind of opened my eyes up to be a better person and a better version of myself.
That's stop blushing there.
No, it's all her, man.
Just yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think I'd be the version of myself I am today without being able to have him to look up to.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's so good. You know what I mean? I don't find that cheesy at all. You know what I mean? Because that's the point of a relationship. You're supposed to feed off each other and create. So I reckon that's awesome. It's a really, really good answer, Bill. You got Nev blushing. He's but that's heaps good, bro. But I guess we'll sort of wrap it up with a quote. I know you guys have been sitting on one. Yeah, I'll go first. So I was sitting in bed last night. Like, I need to find a quote. Usually I'll be sitting there doing it while people are talking, like we're talking. But I tried to do a bit of research on this one, so it might sound a little bit robot-y, but anyway. So, but becoming a millionaire, if I can talk. Becoming a millionaire isn't what is important. It's the person you must become in order to become a millionaire. So it's understanding how you can be like being successful, but also not forgetting how you got there and the person you were when you became successful.
Got to evolve.
That's it.
I love that. That's good, eh? That's power, man. That's there's so much volume in that. I love that.
I feel like a really...
Who said that? That's a good one, eh?
Well, I was like on Instagram. I'm like looking at, because there's heaps of like pages on Instagram that do that like constantly post like motivational quotes all the time. It was actually a video of this old fella that was talking about it. I'll send you it through on Instagram. I don't know what his name was, but he looked like one of those motivational stuff and just gets paid $1 million to talk for an hour. But all right.
What's your little quote?
Do you have one? I have one. I'll do. So this one is actually from Dave Harwig. Dave sent me this when I was like, I had just I'd probably just hit rock bottom. And I had just started to turn around. Just started to kind of step up from from hitting rock bottom. And this is all him, man. Very, very special dude. So he said, "This is what you're here for. Always remember that you come from a long, unbroken line of ancestors who survived unimaginable adversity, difficulty, and struggle. It's their genes and their blood that runs through you right now. Without them, you wouldn't be here. You are an heir to an impressive tradition, and as their viable offspring, you are capable of what they were capable of. You're meant for this."
That's no words for that, bro. That says it all. Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah. You got one now?
I bought from a scrunchie company, a girl that I used to go to school with, and she wrote on my, she did like a little card up for me. On the back of it said, "If you can't see the sunshine, be the sunshine." And it stuck with me ever since then. Just, I don't know, because in like a really dark day, you can be.
You're my sunshine.
You can sprout out.
That's it, right? You had to get it back. You're blushing. You're both blushing there. No, that's it, bro. And that sort of talks to your personality, I reckon, Bill. I reckon you're a bit of a bubbly kind of person, and you're a bit like you can, like, it seems to be a lot like you can sort of, your mood can be transferable to someone else. So I'm sure Nev can talk to this. I'm sure when he's having a bad day, he can turn to you and you can turn it around. You know what I mean? So I reckon that's a really powerful quote. It's only short, but it's really powerful. So, but yeah, does anyone else want to? I know we've only got 3 other people listening, but Steph, you've always got something deadly to say. If you're still there, you were playing 2K before, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, we'll sort of just take after Kevin Durant, I guess, because I remember I was watching ESPN one time, and they were talking about him because he'll make a big shot and stuff, and his teammates will rush him and that, and he just act like nothing happens. Like, he won't talk to his teammates, he won't high five them, he'll just be there like he's just walking down the street. But with that being said, when he comes on the court, he touches the numbers on the front, touches the numbers on the back. At the end of the game, he goes and kisses his mum on the cheek and walks off like nothing's happened. He doesn't celebrate anything. Which, that being said, the lion doesn't roar after he's killed, does he? So if you think about it, if you're gonna show how much passion and stuff something means to you, do it in the moment while you're actually doing it. Don't save it until after, where your prey's already dead. Can't hear it or anything. Like,
yeah.
Very strong.
That's strong, bro. You've always got a good one, eh? You've always got a good one.
It's like Sam Ovens. He said the best time to do something was yesterday. The next best time is now.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, bro, that's good. It's a good way to end it. I love it. No, like, I can't thank you guys enough for hopping on. I understand that it is a bit hard to sort of talk, as we said at the start. It is hard to talk in front of a camera. It's really, really. I really do appreciate the both of you just hopping on and having it be on to me. And this is going to be a time capsule for anyone who can go back and look at the start of your journey, and then like 6 months down the track, it's going to be different. Then 6 months down again, it's going to be different. It's constantly evolving. It's like what you guys are doing is amazing, and just keep it up. Keep evolving, keep doing good things in the community.
Well, same to you, bro. We all draw inspiration from each other, and we're so grateful you had us on today. Bill was heaps nervous, and I was so shocked when you asked me to, and the fact that we get to go on together, and people get to see that it's not just me doing this. I've got one of the greatest people in the world here to help me on this journey. So yeah, it's good, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
100%. Did you guys want to plug anything before you go, like your socials?
Yeah, if you wanna follow just what I'm doing, check out my Instagram, Nev X Witters. Bill's is Billie_page. The Kultja is on Instagram, TheKultja, and we have a Facebook group for for our close followers, our customers, and people that really love what we're about, and that's called Threat, the harvesting of real energy and truth. And if you're a game changer, cycle breaker, and a dream taker, you're a triple threat. Oh.
Hey, rehearse. I love it. How many times did you say that in the mirror?
Oh, wait, I swear that was off the top.
How many times did you say that in the mirror before you came on?
3 times.
Bro, that was real Denzel Washington vibes, that one. Hey. No, bro, that's mad. As always, this is going to be a constant thing. I don't want this to be a short, like the podcast. I want it to be a long-term thing. Everyone, if anyone who's listening at the moment, just sort of share it around, send it through to whoever. These conversations are going to be helping people in all different sorts of ways. So especially in these tough times that we're going through at the moment, with being locked down and not being able to see our mob and our family. As I've said plenty of times, one of the good things about COVID is that, like, at a click of a button, we can all be in the same place and we can all be talking to the same people that might be out west or might be in Queensland. Like, it's reaching people digitally. So it's but other than that, I'll turn off the recording and then I'll let you go. All right, thanks guys. Thanks again.
Take care. Keep killing it.